As we all know, the Nigerian judiciary has just entered its new legal year, and with that, the judiciary has been put in the spotlight again. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kekere-Ekun, has promised some reforms, and the NBA chairman in the last few days did speak up, and some have termed it very bold. But joining me this morning on the sidelines of the Nigeria Economic Summit to discuss this and focus on the judiciary is legal practitioner and human rights activist Deji Adeyanju. A warm welcome to you. Thanks for joining us on News Central, live and direct in Abuja. Now let's talk about the state of the Nigerian judiciary as we see it, the overview and the comments of the NBA president. The judiciary used to be known as the last hope of the common man. Yes. Is it still the last hope of the common man?
I don't think it's the last hope of the common man anymore, because now the common man cannot even afford to fight processes at the costs. Practice fight processes from court first instance to the appellate court. You know, it's not you only read the common man. I'm more than say the comments by the NBA president was extremely brave and courageous. Commend him for that courage. For just like Professor Isesage.
Hold your thoughts for a second. We'll have to go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue our conversation. Just stay with us. You're welcome back. We still have Deji Adeyanju here with us, and we're discussing the new legal year and other matters that have to do with the administration of justice in Nigeria. Deji, before we went on that break, I was asking you if the judiciary is still the last hope of the common man.
And my answer was very clear and unambiguous that I do not think that the judiciary is still the last hope of the common man, because the common man cannot even afford to fight processes at the various courts in Nigeria. Before anyone can approach the court these days, what is the minimum wage? How much is it to file notice of appeal? Even to compare records alone is close to 600,000. Approach the courts. So I do not think that gone are the days where justice was swift and certain and decisive. Now it appears that we have two systems for justice in the country, one for the rich and one for the poor. You can see that the politicians have been so smart to help themselves. Election petition cases are decided swiftly, but criminal matters, civil matters involving dispute to land and other related issues, debt recovery issues, ownership of title of either chattels or property of all kinds, take years to decide at the courts. So it appears that justice is now for the have and not for the have-nots.
But it appears that also the stakeholders in the justice system in Nigeria are aware of what's going on. You were at the just concluded NBA conference, and the NBA chairman did recently speak to the public about some of the issues. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun, has unveiled a plan to modernize and strengthen the courts, prioritize things like digitization of court processes, stricter internal discipline, and all of that. Do you see the beginning of this new legal year and the promises by the Chief Justice of Nigeria? Do you think the judiciary is truly ready for the reform, or are we just hearing the same promises repackaged in new language?
Yeah, almost every CJN that comes makes this similar. What is different? And when CJN she had made similar promises, but what have been the deliverables so far? The issue is that we do not have indices to measure performance of judicial officers in the country. Again, you know that the Nigerian judiciary is one of the most the judicial officers are not well remunerated. So you can see that, for instance, I'm on my way to the Federal High Court, you can see that the courts are overburdened because of our number, of our size as a nation. Just like I have propounded and agitated for more judges justices in the Supreme Court, that 21 justices in the Supreme Court is insufficient. You can for the volume of the cases. So these are the kind of reforms that I expect the CJN, that because you cannot have a justice in the Supreme Court attending to thousands of cases, just one person. So yes, you will say that the Constitution is our ground norm, is the supreme law, and that the Constitution supremacy cannot be questioned or challenged. However, the Constitution was made for man and not man for the Constitution. So one will have expected, it goes without saying, that these are the kind of reform, because the reform has to be centered towards efficiency. It mustn't just be about lip service. That, oh, every time there's a legal year, yes, what do the people want to hear?
Critics will also say, you lawyers are also part of the problem. That that in the MBA conferences, for example, just concluded in Enugu, you had a communique, and by the MBA conference of 2026, how much progress, how much decisions, how much movement would have happened between 2025 and 2026? That is almost like a talk shop. So you're all part and parcel of the problems of the judiciary.
Well, I agree that the MBA is part of the problem and lawyers are part of the problem, because the truth of the matter is that certain things are permitted or permissible that should not be. This particular leadership of Mazi Alpha Mosigwe has been a little bit proactive, but I would not say they are perfect. Every system, just like the legislature and the executive, have their own shortcomings. However, just look at what recently the MBA has done by going to court to challenge the Nigerian police on the tinted permit issue. You cannot leave criminals roaming the streets. Criminals are on TikTok, for God's sake, displaying wads of money. What is your business with stopping?
Argument is that the tint that criminals foment their activities under the guise of tint, that they use it as part of their operations.
Yes, so the essence of the police itself is to protect life and property. So police should put mechanism in place to checkmate criminality and prevent criminal activities from functioning in the country. Section 14 of our Constitution has talked about the government itself derives sovereignty from the people. So
where are we with it? And this has also led to another conversation. The police is saying they haven't seen the certified true copy of that order, so they're disobeying the court order that says, from what I was told, from what I'm told, and a copy of the order has been unveiled. It's public knowledge. And again, you have a law enforcement agency.
The Nigerian police is notoriously known for disobeying orders, of positive orders of court. Notoriously known for that. And again, it goes without saying that this Nigerian police force, they are more inclined towards revenue generation. The Nigerian police force is not a revenue generation agency. You understand? If you insist, assuming without considering that the Nigerian police force insists on issuing tinted permit, they should make it electronic and free. That anyone who is eligible should apply and get it. The Nigerian police force is not a revenue generation. It's not custom.
But they will argue that the technology deployed will cost money. The website, maintaining the admin work.
I volunteer to do the website for them free of charge.
Okay. Just before we let you go, because I do understand you have to be at the court this morning, if you could pick one urgent reform to restore credibility to Nigeria's judiciary, because it's one subject. Nowadays, people say, go to courts. They say it jokingly because they know they might not get justice. And like you said, the judiciary is no longer the last hope of a common man. If you could pick one urgent reform to restore credibility to Nigeria's judiciary, what would it be and why?
Yeah, the reform has to be less contact between litigants and court officials, because the Nigerian judiciary needs to digitalize all its processes in such a way that there's little or no contact with court officials. That alone will solve the issue of corruption and gratification, in the process.
So the way it is right now, there's a lot of, where does that contact happen?
Yes, contact happens from the filing unit, process unit, almost everything that you are doing with the courts, there's contact. Again, the problem is the root cause of corruption in the judiciary is lack of funding. For instance, a litigant goes to court. The record of proceedings, who should pay for the record of proceedings? Who should pay? If the record proceedings becomes electronically available, because you must pay. You don't expect a judiciary that's not funded, you expect the court official to print record of proceedings and give you? No. It's not possible, because with which money will they pay? The mobilization of processes, who is going to pay for the mobilization of processes from a complainant to the defendant? So it is the litigant that will pay. All these things are the reasons why the poor man cannot afford justice in the country, why the judiciary is no longer the last hope of the common man. But if it is digitalized, if record of proceedings as court processes and proceedings are going on live in court, in the next 5 minutes, there's a place where you can just go, just like it is done in other crimes, and just access it and print on your own. And it's already, the record of proceedings as the court process is going on, every page of record of proceedings goes to a page, and it's already certified with the stamp and seal of the court. Then the litigants or their counsel can print it in their offices or in their homes. Then there will be a lot of limitation as regards to corruption and expecting gratification and expecting thank you for services rendered. So I think that that's a reform that I will be extremely passionate about if I have the power. And also the issue of increasing justices in the Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court, and even the Federal High Court, the courts of coordinate jurisdiction. Believe me, these judges, they are overworked, overlabored, and the volume of work is not commensurate with the pay.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Deji Adeyanju, human rights activist and legal practitioner. It was a pleasure speaking with you.